Well, a few of you have been loving the shorts videos of the lightning, so we're going to put one on canvas, a big long play one, well, as long as we can make it. Okay, this is a prime canvas. I primed it with some acrylic paint first, magenta and black, and then I've gone over it once it was dry with a little bit of magenta oil paint, Prussian blue, and then into black on the outside. Okay, and then just try and take a cloth and just wipe off any of the excess that you may have. Okay, now I'm going to fetch you closer to the canvas so you can see some of the action. So while I'm doing that, please like the video and subscribe if you've not done so already. Happy days! I'm going to be using some fan brushes for this composition, as well as a couple of blender brushes and maybe some liner. Obviously we'll need a liner brush as well. I'm going to go into a little bit of a bluey grey colour I mixed using Prussian blue, burnt umber and some white. And I'm just going to pick a spot, and this is how I do it. I'm just going to pull down there. Okay, I'm going a straight line. This is the rain that is far away. Okay, just the rain. I'm going to have a landscape over here. This is black down there, if you can see that. All right, it is black. So if we hit this with some yellow, then it'll go a nice shade of green. Okay, and we probably have a bit of a lightning strike over this. Now just pull that down, make sure it's all in the same straight line like that. Okay, now we can use the same brush, same colour, and we're gonna carve out a few clouds. Now I'm gonna put some there. Just dance it in, any old how. Just dance some of this grey in and push it about. Okay, and we'll have some up there as well. We'll have this big bolt coming down here. In fact, we'll pop that in a minute, but I just want some colour for the clouds. Now it'll pick up that undercolour of the magenta, the black, the blue, and all sorts. Okay, a bit of something down here that will mist out. Right, and maybe a little bit over here. Just let the brush just do its Bob Ross moment and dance and jiggle all over the place. Like so. Right, let's get that out of the way. Let's take his blender brush, which is very soft, and well, we'll start off down here. We'll use this multiple times in the composition. We'll just start off down there and just soften that, just soften the rain, which is far away, and then just tease this out. We may need to put a little bit more colour down there, and just go up. Yeah, lots of you are loving the lightning on the shorts videos, so, and I've done a fair few long play videos as well, but not in this colour. I usually go for a phthalo blue kind of lightning bolt, but I think the magenta with the Prussian blue will give a nice effect, but we won't know until we hit it with some titanium white. Okay, in fact, talking of titanium white, I picked up a tiny touch, and look at that, and I'm just going to put some down there and just blend that into nothing, just like so. Just blend that into nothing, and over there like that. Easy peasy, all over the thing there like that. Good. What I'm doing is I'm just taking that blender brush with a little bit more white and just teasing out some bits of the clouds that we may see. Okay, we know this is a cloud because it's got rain on it, so we'll just swirl something this way and give it a bit more there like that. We don't want too much because this is not going to be hit by the lightning, so we don't want to diffuse it too much there. Okay, maybe a bit on this side as well. Soft brush, hold it right at the very end, as far back as you can, and just tease some clouds into the composition. There we go. The softer you go with this, the more miserable it looks, the more rainy it looks. Okay, and boy, it's a miserable day today. It started off pretty fine. Lots and lots of snow, played out in the snow. Did a bit of snowballing, snowman and all that lot, sledging, beautiful. And then it's just turned to mush and ice and everything like that. So, ooh, very cold, but I'm here and I'm warm in this little studio, so it's okay. It's okay. Right, just tease that across. Let's have a look what we've got. That looks pretty weird, doesn't it? I've got a little filbert brush here. Still got my blender brush. I'm not cleaning it. I'm just going to use it in a moment. Okay, but titanium white, and we're going to start off probably about there. And look, it just instantly picks up that magenta. Let me put that brush down because I don't want to clean the brush. I just want to wipe it if we get too much of the undercolour on. Okay, and then we're going to come down here and we're going to wiggle and think like lightning, and we're going to go all the way down there, because that's where as landscape's going to be, so we're not too fussed about that. Now we can come back and just spike up a little bit here and there with the titanium white, make it a little bit stronger in places. Okay, I want one coming off this way as well, so maybe make that a little bit brighter. We'll blend it all out. Don't you worry about that. But over here we'll come down, just roll, jiggle like that. Okay, not bad. Things work better in threes, right? So we'll have another little offshoot just there. Wow, this, you'd be terrified if you saw this lightning, wouldn't you? You really would. Okay, and again, strengthen up the bits that you want strengthening. Maybe a bit there. That just like so, and then just tease some of this up into the sky. So that's where his major fork lightning's going to be. Okay, now we can start teasing out some clouds. So we're going to do the same thing, just a little bit of white. Of course, it's not pure white because it's got the lots and lots of the colours that are on the canvas. Okay, and we'll just put a little bit of something there. That's because we want this to be a big cloud, don't we? I like that. And just fill in some spots. And of course, where you need light, you obviously need some dark. So we'll put some dark colour on these as well. There, maybe. And maybe in a couple of moments' time, we might hit it with a palette knife just to give us some real impact. Okay, now let's tease those back into the composition. I'm going to start off, obviously, with the lightning, and just very gently, no pressure at all, just let the brush skim across, and look, it just instantly turns that beautiful magenta colour there, like that, just instantly turns that magenta colour. And if you get a fuzzy bit like that, leave it. Okay, leave it. This is also a great way of painting the northern lights. There we go. So that's his halo, basically, for the lightning. Now, with the clouds, I'm just going to tease these about and back and float them in a circular, rounded pattern. That one goes that way, yeah? Just like we would do on a seascape. A little ivory black and blue, and you can see I've already done a little bit there. And we're just going to put a touch on. I'm using the palette knife now because I get a little bit more erratic sort of feel to the composition. Okay, and these little trowel ones, they're brilliant. Okay, they're absolutely brilliant because you can get them right flat to the canvas without dragging your finger across the painting. Okay, and then just put it in and just push and blend it out. And if it's too strong for you, just take your blender brush and just soften it. There, then we've got some real dark spots, some dark shadows in the clouds. Okay, again, this is just ivory black, which isn't made of ivory anymore. It's made of bone, burnt bone or something like that. The burnt bones, animal bones, I think. Obviously, it's not going to be human bones, I hope. And grind that down and mix it with a bit of linseed oil, and you've got your paint. There we go. Of course, the burnt umber I used to make the grey, that is some dirt from the town of Umbria. in Italy, where I've been. And I'm going again pretty soon. There we go, get rid of that air there. See some more of the grades. Right, there we go. Right, let's have a look at that. Just added some texture with a palette knife there with a bit of bright white. Okay, and what I'm doing is taking a little bit of the ivory black and Prussian blue mix. Remember, these are oil paints, so it's really good to blend. So what I'm doing is just putting a little bit of darkness around certain areas, and then maybe, where's my wipe? Just get the tissue. This is lint-free tissue, so wipe off most. This is an old fan brush. Actually, it's not that old, but I've worn it out. So I'll put a bit of dark in there, which will make the lighter parts brighter. That makes sense. Maybe a touch in there as well. Okay, looking biblical, yeah? So it's good what a little bit of colour and palette knife work and a bit of blending can do. It looks like a really crazy, violent painting now, doesn't it? Okay, so a little bit of thin white paint. It's just slightly off white. I don't want to use pure brilliant white. I've added a touch, the tiniest touch, burnt umber and linseed oil and titanium white. And I'm just going to zigzag it all the way down along the fork. Now, you may pick up a bit of extra colour, so if you do, wipe it off and reload. And where you've got a little thin bit where you want it a little bit brighter, find a place to put my thumb, about there, you can just repaint it in. Okay, so what we're going to do is just going to go all the way down and there and down. Again, a bit more paint. Wants to be a bit stronger there. Jiggle, think of electricity, think of lightning. Okay, think of lightning as you come down. Now you can paint this with a palette knife. You know, virtually all the painting you can do with a palette knife, if you take the palette knife and just put on like a little lines like so, or if you've got a smaller angled palette knife, you can do it that way as well. Give you perfectly straight, crisp lines. But I want a little bit of a jiggle. Okay, and we'll come down there like that, thinner stroke, like so. And then we could take maybe a bit down here, and again, thinner stroke, fork it off a little bit, like so. I'm going to do the whole lot of this now, and then we'll come back and we'll paint the landscape. Wow, the gods look angry on this composition, don't they? And it's great what you can do with a little bit of thin paint. I mean, you could use liquid white, I suppose, if you do have that sort of medium about, but just a thin oil paint, okay, but not too thin that it drips right the way off the canvas. Right, I'm going to put that brush down, okay, and I'm going to pick up one of the fan brushes that we used earlier. Okay, it's still got a bit of that purpley colour. There's black all down there as well, which means when we pick up a little bit of green or yellow, sorry, if we pick up a little bit of yellow, we make green. I've also made a green as well out of just black and cad yellow, and I'm just going to tap in a little bit of a landscape. Now I want it lighter where the lighting actually is, and pretty much darker over here, over to the edges. So add a little bit more black, a bit more blue into that. Now I'm using the fan brush because I can get all sorts of like little humps and bumps and stuff. And let's just get some of that yellow, bright cad yellow, okay, or chrome yellow. I can't remember which one I picked up now. And we'll just touch on there, and I'm going to hide the bolts of the lightning, the fork lightning, in the background, so it pushes the lightning back there, but it lightens up the land. Don't worry about the odd rogue hair that just appears. They do come off your brushes from time to time, and I have been to many galleries, especially in Italy, where I have seen some masters' work, some past masters' work, and you can see little hairs in there, you know. So don't worry too much about hair loss. Okay, I suppose Most people say that. Most men certainly say that. But don't worry about it. As long as it's not in a vital area. Okay, just keep tapping. I'm seeing something, guys. I'm seeing where a tree should be. I'm seeing where a tree should be. So I'm just going to fill this up and we'll come back and put where I think a little tree should be. It's amazing what you can do with a few different colours. I've added a bit of, I think it's raw sienna there, and a bit of burnt sienna and white there, as well as a bit of burnt umber as well, just thrown into the mix. Okay, now if you don't want a tree in your composition, don't put one in. Okay, now you can put one any side, but we need something to give it a little bit of scale. Now we'll either need, if we don't put one in, put some big grasses in the foreground, okay, to push everything back. But I'm going to put a tree in, and I think the tree would sit nice in there anyway. Well, it does now, just slightly off centre, and I'm just going to hit it with the same grassy colours in that gap there, and we come a little bit down, go over the bolt of lightning, okay, and just turn and twist the brush. It's got all those colours in there, like so. Of course, we'll put a little trunk in there. Now I need to grab a little bit more of the yellowy colours, and where's the highlight's going to be? Well, it's going to be highlighted at both sides, so you could have backlit this tree, really, put in the highlight colours first, or the lighter colours first. Well, I'm just going to put some there, okay, maybe a little bit of a dash there. Okay, now I can't hardly see this. As I'm painting this, I'm sideways on, so I'm not really the best position to be painting this. But I will take a step back before we put the trunk on and tinker with it if I need to. Okay, just put a bit there. We could do with some darker blobs, I suppose, in the composition as well, in the tree. But again, if you don't want a tree in yours, leave him out. Okay, or if you want one at this side or that side, or a lot of trees, do whatever takes your fancy. Now we've got his backlit tree. I'm just adding a little bit of a trunk down there. Okay, we'll grab a touch of the dark blacky colours and just add that to it, mix it in. Now we can see that trunk. Okay, grab a bit of the Prussian blue, bit of shadow work. I think we're nearly done. And there we have it. Well, let me know how this one goes for you. If you've enjoyed this one, like the video. If you give it a try, send me a photograph of it. Subscribe if you've not done so already. And leave me a nice big comment. Until next time, take care of yourself. Stay safe. Happy days.